Hey guys, this is part two. But once again, just a warning for disclaimer of language and maybe some trigger stuff. So, and like I was saying, my mom had got addicted to sleeping pills after my grandmother passed away. She went through a little bit of depression, which I understand. And we moved in with my aunt and my cousins. I'm not gonna really go into much detail because it was really bullshit living there. Then we ended up moving into our own little apartment. It was wonderful at first. God, man, it was so great. I was going to a new school. I made the football team. I had good grades. I was happy. We did hit some hard times, but we always managed, you know. And my mom ended up working like 4 jobs to make ends meet for money. And we had food stamps, which she thought I was ashamed of. But one day I walked to Walmart when it was just a grocery store and went and got all the food that I could find, that I could remember, that I could get. Then we would give food pantries and stuff like that. Because even though my mom was working on jobs, rent, utilities, rent-a-centers, and all that shit, car, all that wasn't cheap by any means. And she ended up having this one boyfriend who she put him first a lot of times. Like, there's one time I was still going to my old school to finish out before I started my new school, and to walk from my old bus stop to I would always walk to the gas station my mom worked at. It was like 5 miles, but it was up and down hills. It was hot and everything like that. And when I finally got to where sometimes she would forget to come pick me up, but then we would find her. I'd find her with her boyfriend, and or there was one time she forgot to come get me from my bus stop. I walked to the apartment, and her sitting on the couch making out, laughing and giggling. I slammed the door, and I didn't talk to her for 2 days. I pretty much fended for myself at the time. I was doing my own laundry, cooking my own food, and everything. Now, like I said, there's some aspects my mom's not perfect. I never said she was, but I loved her to death because she was my mom. Then come to find out my mom was pregnant again. Now, there was 2 possible guys that were the dad, and we come to find out there was one guy that she's really good friends with her boyfriend. And we ended up moving to Virginia to live with my aunt. And this is probably some of the best and worst parts of my life I can remember. My mom ended up losing this baby too. She went in for her birthday, my mom's birthday. She went in for her birthday to get an ultrasound, and they couldn't find a heartbeat, and couldn't find a baby had passed away. This one was going to be named Heaven too, and she didn't make it. Not long after that, I'd had my first real girlfriend, and we ended up getting pregnant. And I was going to, and we found out it was a girl. I was going to name her Nevaeh. That's like a kind of like a tribute to my 2 past sisters, and something happened and she didn't make it. This year she would have been 18 years old. In about 2 months she would be 18 years old. And it was hard. After that, me and her broke up because of the shit that she'd done and everything. But also I got addicted. My mom and my aunt didn't know this, but I got addicted to pills, drugs in general. I was selling them. And after when I started playing football, I started gaining weight because I was eating more because they wanted me to be on lineman and all that. I was always a bigger kid. And then, but the thing is, I was eating all this food, but I was burning calories, and I wasn't very big. And then I moved to Virginia, and I just got huge because all I would do is sit around and eat tons of food and never do anything. Never really got encouraged to play football, do sports, exercise, lose weight, nothing. And after everything happened with my mom ended up getting really sick. And she ended up losing half her foot, and that was just a downfall. She was constantly sick, constantly had to be taken care of, which I mean, I dropped out of high school to take care of her. Plus, I was having a lot of issues in school. I was gaining more weight, I was doing more drugs, and believe it or not, I was actually a pretty big druggie. OD twice, 2 or 3 times. My mom found me one time, and that's when I decided to quit. When my mom found me. And then the weight kind of dropped off after a while because I was moving so much. I was walking everywhere. And then we moved back to Ohio, pretty much the same area. But we ended up moving with my grandfather, who unfortunately was ended up in a nursing home, and my uncle, who unfortunately was sick with AIDS. And he ended up passing away not long after I was there. So, but in that time frame, me and my aunt got to a huge argument, and I got sent off to Baltimore for a few months to live with my sperm donor and his whatever you call it, and his little whatever you call it, and my pops. And it was hell living there, because at first it was great, and then one day he just flipped switch on me, and I don't know. But I ended up walking everywhere. But the cool experience was I ended up working at Ravens Stadium for the Baltimore Ravens. I got to meet the players. I got to meet Deion Sanders when they signed him for that year. I got to meet some great people. Got some great exercise. I was walking around Baltimore looking for jobs and everything. And then we had a big falling out. Big shit happened, and then I'm coming back here. But when I came back here, my mom was sicker, and my uncle had Troy passed away after I came back. And after that, we moved into a different part of Ohio. We sold everything off that we had to for the money, and then we ended up getting a decent little house, and that turned into hell too. It's the first time I ever threw my back out to where I couldn't walk. Like, I lost all feeling in my leg. Couldn't move, couldn't walk. And the boyfriend that my aunt had was verbally abusive. He thought he was the shit and everything. He threatened to kick my ass until I stood up to him one day, and I backed him down, and he went and locked himself in his bedroom for like 2 hours or so, and then he ran out of the house for like a day. But he mainly used my aunt for money, to have a place to stay. Basically what he was doing. And then he ended up beating hell out of her one day too. But then my aunt kicked us out of that house. We ended up moving back into Huntington with a mutual friend of my aunt's, my mom's, and that was some bullshit, to be honest with you. She didn't have her running water. She was stealing my mom's medicine. And my mom ended up getting like a really bad staph infection living in that house. And my mom was in the hospital for a couple of months. And somehow or another, I ended up in Kentucky. And I actually met some friends there. They were there because someone was in a really bad car. I almost died from what they were telling me. And they let me meet them. They were great people. And I ended up moving to Kentucky for a couple of months just to get away from Huntington. And at that time, I became a wrestler. Was living my dream, got to wrestle some big names, got to meet a lot of big names, got to travel the world for a couple of years, cut grass, everything. I was in great shape. I was taking very well care of myself, and then I come to find out my mom was losing half her leg because the bones in her leg from her middle of her shit down were gone. They were completely just shattered. Like, my mom would pick her foot up right before the surgery. They picked her foot up, and bone was just leaking out of a hole in her foot. How bad it was. And then they came back. After that happened, I ended up staying here. I ended up getting the rest of my stuff shipped in here. And then Out of the blue, this bitch that we were living with just up and decided to kick me out, kick my mom out, so she didn't feel safe with us living there. So my mom ended up at a nursing home, and then she finally got all my shit out of her house, put it on her porch so that I can go get it. Went and got it, threw away a lot of the shit that we didn't need. A friend of mine that was letting me stay with them, they kept a lot of the stuff until I could get it to the nursing home fair where my mom was going to be at. But in this time, the bitch that we were living with called HUD, which is like housing assistance, on the woman I was staying with, saying that she had someone living there. They were going to kick her out if I didn't leave, so I had no time to leave. I ended up in the city of Michigan, which is a homeless shelter. I was in a homeless shelter for a couple months, and I found out how to get to the nursing home my mom was in. She would put it back money for me whenever she could, cigarettes, what have you. And I become kind of like a staple in the nursing home. I was helping them out with people. They were feeding me, letting me take showers there. They would let me come in like an hour before they actually had visiting hours. They wouldn't stay an hour over. They were great. They treated my mom wonderful. And then I ran back into my aunt, who was still with a guy. They let me stay with them. Tried out my own apartment. Ended up losing that apartment, going back to the Mission after about a couple months. And in this time frame, I was going through real bad emotion suppression. I really didn't know how to live like an adult in the aspect of, by myself. I always had a roommate or something. But living at the Mission, you didn't have bills paid. You just had to make sure you had food, you were warm or dry, what have you. And, then I met a really good friend of mine. Him and his girlfriend let me move in with them into his apartment, which is in return where I met Mrs. at, which she thought I was a gangster when we first met. When we first met me at the apartment, we thought I was a gangster. Well, at that time, it was good. I mean, becoming a raging alcoholic at the time. But it was good times, Me and Mrs. ended up together. I ended up moving in here. And then when I moved in here, a couple months later, my mom passed away. And when that happened, I completely shut off from the whole entire world. The only person I'd really talk to would be Mrs. She'd be the only one I'd really talk to. And I really didn't sleep for a couple months. I'd take like cat naps here and there, but in all reality, I didn't sleep. I stayed awake. Then when I finally fell asleep, I fell asleep. And hard. So, and then I was kind of big, but I was active. We were walking everywhere. I lost weight. I was in good shape. I was eating kind of shitty, but the thing is that I got a ton of exercise. We walk everywhere. And then it got to where I was working at 7-Eleven. We found out we got married. We got married to, a lot of people didn't think it would happen, but we got married. And then not long after that, I'd say about a year after, about 8 months or so, we found out we were pregnant with Gizmo. And then I got a job at 7-Eleven. And I love this job. I worked my ass off at this job. In the first month, I made $5,000 within 2 paychecks. Because I was working so many hours. And there was times I worked 72 hours straight. And then I was working every 7-Eleven that was in the 20-mile radius of where we lived in. And then I got set up on a beer sting. They ended up firing me, and then that's when I realized I didn't have a problem. And that's when my depression kicked in, and that's when the shit went downhill quick. I was hoarding. I wasn't hoarding like material stuff. I was hoarding trash. I was hoarding beer cans, pop cans, beer bottles, chip bags of beef jerky came in, stuff like that. And I completely had a corner completely full of trash. And I was an utter dick if someone would try to clean it. And this is. Then I got out of the house one day because I had a job interview or something like that. I came home completely clean. I was pissed, wouldn't talk to her. And then, I wasn't really, at this time I was a pretty bad husband. I was a pretty shitty father at the time. But I didn't know what was wrong. I didn't understand something was wrong with me at all. I didn't understand. All I knew is I was really sad all the time. I just wanted to sit, eat, and not do anything. And then one day, Mrs. and her dad went to go get food. I fell asleep, and Gizmo got outside on me. And that's when I got help. And the help I got was okay at first. It really changed a lot of aspects. Like the medicine they put me on at first was great. It helped with so much stuff, but then I got addicted to it. I got addicted to my Xanax. I got addicted to Ambien. Like it was on so many different types of like medicines. I got addicted to them, and I was taking like 30-day supply in like a week. And the place that we would go to, would happily give me more without asking, well, what did your prescription do? They would just give it to me. And then what made me realize it was, I can't remember the exact moment I realized it, but when I think I was sitting down, counting out my pills or what I had, and Mrs. went to talk to me, and I told her to shut the fuck up. I'm trying to count my medicine. And then I took she walked out of the room, I took a handful, went to swallow it, and threw up. And when I was looking in the trash can, I realized that I had so many fucking more problems. And any pills that I had after that, I told Mrs. about it. She, like me and her were talking about, she said she didn't realize it, but I sat there and actually told her about what I was doing. And I was like, I need to quit, because I was being a bad father, a bad husband. I was being a shitty person in general, because if I didn't get what I wanted, I was a dick. And it got to the point to where I flushed every pill I had, and to this day I still can't have Skittles. I can't do Pixie Sticks or anything, because I was addicted to cocaine and everything, and it's just some stuff trigger things, and I try to stay away from it. And in that time frame, I gained, I was like 500 pounds, lost a lot of weight, and then got a job at Amazon. After trying so many times long to get a job, I finally got a job at Amazon after so many tries. Amazon lasted for about 2 months because of season. Most of their shit is. And then I got going through everything. We ended up finally getting our own place in Salt Rock, and that's when my health went downhill bad, because I really couldn't leave, because we were so far from everything. I didn't want to waste gas. I was afraid to, because Mrs. was unfortunately only working. And that's not from the lack of trying to find a job, no matter what anybody says. But try to find a job, and I kept, and Mrs. saw all the no's from emails and shit. So, but I kept the house clean. I would cook. I would attempt to do laundry, but the shit that we had, I couldn't figure it out.